Hello, my name is Julia Darby, and this is my discussion-based assignment for 06.09. For the first question, describe the autonomy of a wave. Well, the wave has multiple parts. First, the crest, which is the top of the wave during a pattern, would be here. The trough during the pattern would be here. And the amplitude is how high the wave becomes, or how low it becomes. The wavelength is the distance between two waves in the pattern. For question 2, the period is 0.5, and the frequency is 5 because that is the amount of times it swings in 10 seconds. For question 3, the speed of the wave is 15 meters per second. You know if an image is real or virtual depending on which side of the medium it is on. For example, if it is glass and the image is on the side of the object, then the image is virtual. But if, for example, the object is a mirror, and it is on the opposite side of the mirror than the object, then the image is also virtual. The difference between refraction and reflection is when reflection happens, it is the image being produced back towards you. It is usually with mirrors or water or things like that, where you see the image a second time, usually reversed in the image compared to the original object. The refraction is when something changes with the object, and it is usually going through a medium. It is the difference on how light rays interact with the object in different mediums. For example, the classic pencil in water, the pencil in air, and the pencil in water refract differently because the light rays move slower through the water compared to air. Question 6. Describe how the pendulum's kinetic energy and potential energy changes. Kinetic energy is when the object is moving. So it would be from the top down to the bottom, and usually after you hit the bottom, it starts potential energy more. Potential energy is the possibility of movement. So it would be at the peak of the object. When it is at the bottom, the potential energy is the lowest, where kinetic energy is the highest. And then once it starts going back up, potential energy starts to gain and kinetic energy starts to lower. The focal length is determined based on the index of refraction of the lens, usually. The focal length is how thick the lens is, and it is where all the rays combine. So for example, in your eye, the focal length, if you're nearsighted, could be a little bit farther away from the retina, and then it would cause the image to be blurry. But with a lens, then the image would be, all the rays would combine in the correct spot and on the retina, and it would create a non-blurry image. For question 8, describe how to draw the 3 rays that determine where an image appears. It depends on the medium of the thing the light rays are passing through. For example, with glass, the objects will refract, and usually they will appear on the opposite side of the glass. For example, to find the image where the image would be on the opposite side of the glass, you would first have the object here, and the glass would be here. The top of the object would go parallel, straight line until it hits the center of the glass. Then it would refract and go straight downwards until it passes through the focal point on the opposite side of the lens. And then another one would be the object going straight downwards from the object until it hits the focal point, and then keep going straight. The final of them is where the object goes straight down through the focal point, but then it refracts in the lens to go straight, and it goes onwards after the lens. These three rays will, on the other side of the lens, all combine to become the image. Sorry, it's a bit confusing.